Yo, what's going on everybody? Hawaiian Era 2121 here. Today we have a 9-plane unboxing for the month of March. Some of these models I've had in my collection for a little bit of time, but I've never really unboxed them, while others just came in the mail about last week. So without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video of these 9-plane unboxing. And over here are 3 of our models for the month of March. We have the ANA 787, the Virgin Atlantic A330-300, and the Frontier Airlines Airbus A319 and the Jack the Rabbit's tail. These 3 models I purchased at the airplane shop that I visited about maybe a month ago, and they were really necessities for my collection. I'm really excited to finally have these models. Some of them, like the Frontier Airbus A319, are super rare models, which I was shocked that they had. And again, I purchased these at the Executive Display Desktop models or doing business as Newark Airlines show. But we're going to start off with the Frontier Airlines Airbus A319. And with all of her might and glory, I finally have found the Frontier Airlines Airbus A319, the Jack the Rabbit tail. I've been looking for this model ever since I started collecting back in 2014. As we can see, this is a company exclusive by GeminiJets. So we have the Frontier Airlines image right over here. Frontier Airlines old titles, and as we can see, this is a fairly old model. And again, the price I paid for it was around $50. And this, again, is a company exclusive by GeminiJets. So as you can see, it's not your typical GeminiJets box. You have the Frontier Airlines over here and the Frontier Airlines old school logo right over here. Let's dive straight into today's review of this aircraft. And over here is the model itself. The model itself was in perfect condition. When I opened it, it had the GeminiJets packaging over the nose cone, something I like to see from the older GeminiJets releases. Sadly, Gemini doesn't do that anymore. But we have the perfectly shaped nose cone over here of this Airbus A319. We have a whole different animal right over there. That's what Frontier's slogan was before low fares done right. And then we have the Frontier Airlines billboard titles right over here, which span the whole length of the aircraft. Now the Frontier Airlines titles kind of span from here to here before they span from all the way over there. We have one Wi-Fi dome right over here, and if I move the aircraft along, we can see just how gorgeous this is. Ooh, is this nice. Registration is 940FR. Horizontal stabilizers are metal, and they're just really nice. This model is fantastic. I mean, this model was released, I think, in like 2005 to 2008, and it came in a set of 2. It also came with Perry the Puffin. I have Perry the Puffin, and later on, Gemini released the Dash 8 Q400 in the Lynx tail. I also have that model, and this kind of completes my Frontier Airlines collection of the old school GeminiJets. Gemini did a wonderful job on this model, where you can just see how gorgeous the Frontier titles are with the tail of the aircraft. And if I zoom in on the tail, we can see just Jack the Rabbit right over there. One of the other reasons why I wanted this model was because Frontier Airlines, the older commercials, had the animals talking, and Jack the Rabbit was also talking in the old school commercials, and some of those commercials were really funny. So if you haven't checked those out, I would recommend checking them out. Again, we have horizontal stabilizers, which are metal, and we have the registration, American flag, and emergency exit arrows on the aircraft winglets, wingspan rather. And just overall, this is a really solid job by GeminiJets. To get this for $50. The price originally was $60, but I got it for $50. It's a steal. Again, I was looking for this model for ages. Finally have it in my collection. Real excited to use it, so expect to see it in the next Retro Airport update. And up next is this Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300. I really was not expecting to see this model at the store at all. In fact, I didn't even know Phoenix Models did this model. But nonetheless, it was in great condition, and the price was $50 again, so I decided to take this model. And here she is. Here's the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 by Phoenix Models. This is a really solid model by Phoenix Models. I highly recommend it just on the first look. The coloring could be slightly improved on the silver over here. It's more of a white, I think, and a metallic whitish than rather a silver. However, this is fine. It's not really that too bad of coloring. We have the Virgin Atlantic billboard titles right over here. And then we have one Wi-Fi dome right over here. I think this is a little bit of an older release by Phoenix models because there are no antennas. But let's just take a look at the aircraft around it. It looks really, really solid. Ruby red engines, which is nice to see. We also have the, perfectly detailed rolling rubber tires. Something GeminiJets loves to say their models have, but they never do. Correct! We have the England flag right over here. Aviation 400's Airbus A350-1000 that I bought. Forgot that detail, so that's really nice to see the old school Phoenix models had it. We have the ruby red engines, again Virgin Atlantic billboard titles. And this is more of an asset purchase again for me, just because how often Virgin Atlantic flies to my airports. I just want a different Virgin Atlantic member of my fleets because just they constantly change their planes. Again, rolling rubber tires are perfect. We have the Virgin logo right over here, and right over here along with the tail, metal horizontal stabilizers, and just a perfectly detailed Virgin Atlantic tail. Overall, I would highly recommend this aircraft if you do use it for your airports that Virgin flies to. And one other note that I forgot about, Virgin Atlantic titles are also on the belly of the plane, which is a super realistic detail, Phoenix models included. We also have some gorgeous winglets, wing flaps. And overall, I would highly recommend this aircraft. I think it's a really, really rare aircraft and a really nice one. And our final model that I bought from the store is this Boeing 787-9 in the Al Nippon Airways and the Pokemon special livery. This model I was really excited about. This is a JC Wings model and really looks nice. The box art is solid on this aircraft. Simple yet effective. And it's really, really nice. So, again, I'm going to be using this aircraft for JFK, Washington Dulles, and LAX, which I'm really excited to announce later in this video. And if we unbox the aircraft, ooh, this is a really, really nice model. Really colorful. I think that, again, this is JC Wings again. And wow, this is stunning. This is something else, this model airplane. Really, really nice. Wow, that's something else. So let's zoom in on this aircraft right over here. And if we look at this aircraft, there's a lot going on with it. We have just a lot going on with it. However, it all adds up to really, really make something fantastic. Our registration for this aircraft, according to the box, is going to be, if I can find it on the box, it's going to be JA894 Alpha. And let's start with some detail on the aircraft because there's just so much going on here. We have the Starlines logo right over here. And moving along with the aircraft, you can just see all the Pokemon, the various Pokemon on this aircraft. ANA tail right over there. And again, this is a really, really nice airplane. There's a lot going on with it. So some people might not like it for that reason, but I just think it overall really adds up the color, the green, the yellow, the blue. This really is a unique model airplane. We also have one Wi-Fi dome right over here, antennas over here and over here. We have some belly antennas and wheels roll perfectly. If I can move it over here, we could just see just how nice this aircraft is. Perfectly Dreamliner winglets right over here and right over here. Perfectly detailed. Again, the wheels roll perfectly. I kind of got this aircraft for some airports that I do, JFK, LAX, and Washington Dulles. And as we can see, the engines are also detailed. We got some Pokemon right over here. I don't really know too much about Pokemon, so I can't really say all the details on this aircraft. I just got it for the visual appearance, if you will. ANA logo right over here, inspiration of Japan. We have a butterfly right over here. Really just something else. This is kind of a nostalgic model airplane, if you will. And I just got it because it just looks great in my opinion. I think it's really, really nice. If you ever asked the question if it's too loud, I don't think it is. Of a model airplane, I think it's just insanely detailed and it really looks stunning. It's not like your typical aircraft. It's a really, really stunning version of a 787. And again, just some other looks of this aircraft. You see, just again, we have the ANA logo right over here, inspiration of Japan, and we got the Pokemon right over there. Overall, this is a fantastic model. ANA coloring is perfect right over on the tail. Overall, I really like this aircraft, and I would recommend it. And our next model is the United Airlines Boeing 787-10 by GeminiJets flaps down. I believe this is GeminiJets' first 787-10 flaps down configuration. So this is a brand new mold, and I was super excited to pick this model up. My NG model's United 787-10 sadly has a paint stain on it, so I figured I need a new one. The registration of this aircraft is November 13014, and let's dive straight into this aircraft. And over here is again the United 787 flaps down. This is a very sexy model airplane. And I say that because the flaps down look phenomenal on the 787-10. Now be aware that the quality control on this model, I just looked at it about a couple minutes ago and the wheels fell off, which is typical for GeminiJets, but of course just be aware that sometimes the wheels do fall off just like it did for me. I luckily fixed it and everything was fine. But if we look at the aircraft, we can just see how gorgeous these flaps down are. I mean, this is really a wonderful job by GeminiJets, the flaps down. I'm going to zoom in so we could see them. And we could just see that these flaps down look phenomenal. The flaps down configuration is when the plane lands, and we could just see there's a lot of detail for the flaps down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and we could just see this is a really nice job by GeminiJets. We have one Wi-Fi dome right over here. Unfortunately, Gemini just does not have any belly antennas anymore, and that's kind of a shame because you're paying a lot from the model, but it doesn't have it. The flaps down configuration does make up for it. Coloring looks perfect on the airplane. We have the United Billboard titles, connecting people uniting the world near the L1 boarding door, and the wheels roll perfectly. Again, my wheels kind of fell off, but you know, it is what it is. I luckily fixed it. And again, just admiring the flaps down. The flaps down look really solid for the aircraft. Registration again is 13014. Dreamliner emblem right over here. And overall, I really like the aircraft. I'm going to use this for Newark Liberty, LAX, Washington Dulles, and other airports that I do. And I'm really excited for the progress of this aircraft to be used in my model aircraft videos. Up next, we have two Emirates aircraft. We have the Airbus A300 and the Boeing 777-300ER in a new livery. I really like Emirates, the packaging that GeminiJets does for the Emirates models. I think it's because it's corporate, so Emirates kind of has a new packaging kind of over here. And it's a really nice packaging job. I love the packaging again. You could just see how, you know, it's really nice. You have the corporate logo for Emirates, and it's a real, I just like it. I think it's, I hope Gemini just does it for other aircraft. I think it's really nice. But anyway, I picked up the Airbus A300 for retro airport updates, and we'll look at that first. Starting us along, we have the Airbus A300 logo near the nose cone. We have the L1 boarding door, L2 boarding door, and then we have the Emirates original colors and original titles right over there. I'm surprised to see it wasn't billboard, but again, this is the Emirates original logos and original titles. Wheels do not roll at all. So again, I think this is probably an older mold they revived. That's a shame to see that. Registration is going to be, if I could find it, it's going to be A6-EKC. And the wings have a lot of details to them. It's kind of unfortunate that the wheels don't roll at all, but you know, it is what it is. Actually, it does seem a little bit to be a little tail heavy, sadly, but yeah, it is a little tail heavy. But this is a very detailed aircraft. I really like it. Again, unfortunately, you don't have any belly antennas. The tail looks to be very nice, your simple Emirates tail, and the registration right over here. And overall, this is a very nice model. It's going to be great for retro airport updates, but it is unfortunate to see that it's a little tail heavy. And yeah, this is a very nice aircraft. More of an asset purchase for retro airport updates that I do. I'm just surprised to see it's a little bit smaller than I expected, but again, this is my first A300. And some additional detail, we have the Emirates logo on the engines, we have the Emirates titles over here, and some antennas right along the aircraft. And next up, we have the Emirates Boeing 777-300ER in a new livery. This packaging is, again, very, very nice. I love the blue undertone to the box. It's a really, really nice addition to it. And this is a corporate model made by GeminiJets for Emirates. It's a really, really nice box art, and I used this aircraft in my latest Boston Logan International Airport update. Let's take a look at the aircraft. I have the one in the old livery, and that was in the previous month's massive unboxing, but I just wanted the new livery one, just because I kind of like the new Emirates livery. So let's take a look at the aircraft itself. The aircraft is very, very detailed, and it looks really, really nice. Over here is the Emirates Boeing 777-300ER in a new livery, and there's a lot of detail on this aircraft, some especially in a new livery, such as we don't have the www.emirates.com on the underside of the belly. Instead, we just have the billboard titles, and that's about it. We have the Boeing 777-300ER logo, L1 boarding door, and the wheels roll kind of nice on this aircraft. It's kind of nice. We have, again, the Emirates billboard titles, Emirates logos right over here, right over there, and we have a Wi-Fi dome. If I move the aircraft along, let's just take a look at the model itself. Model came in perfect condition. I ordered this off of DG Pilot again. It came in really, really nice shape, and I was going to get the flaps down variant of this aircraft, and decided not to. I just like this aircraft a lot. And here is the new Emirates tail over here. And it's a little bit of a different tail design than the older UAB Emirates design, kind of. So it's a new tail design, and if I turn the aircraft around, we can just see it's a really, really solid aircraft. Again, your typical GeminiJets 777-300ER mode doesn't disappoint. It is a very, very solid job by GeminiJets. Just a simple Emirates plane, and I do plan on using this aircraft for my airport updates, because they probably will be slowly painting the old livery 777s into the new livery 777. So just overall, a really solid pickup for Emirates, and it's going to be used in my model airports. Our next model is the Delta Airlines, or Delta Connection rather, Bombardier CRJ900. And once this came out again, I knew I had to get another CRJ900. I got the 2021 release, and again, many collectors have noticed that the wheels were kind of off on this aircraft. Hoping it's not the case for this one, but basically in the photos I've seen, I think the wheels are off for this aircraft again. That is a total shame by GeminiJets, but I decided to pick this aircraft up for future airports that I do. I have a lot planned for this aircraft, so I'm really excited to see it. So let's unbox it. Again, I'm kind of apprehensive about unboxing it just because I'm kind of scared to see if they improved anything of it, but I don't think they did based on watching other videos and seeing the clips, but you know, it is what it is. And over here is the Delta Connection CRJ900, and if I could quickly tell, no, they did not improve the wheels at all on this aircraft. That's a total blow for GeminiJets. There also are no antennas on this aircraft whatsoever. So let's zoom in on the aircraft itself. And overall, it looks pretty decent. Nothing to complain about. However, you know, there's no antennas on the aircraft, and the wheels. I really want to touch the wheels. They don't roll at all. And the wheels, I have the same issue with the 2021 or 2022, I forget, CRJ900, where they messed up the wheels. Hey, at least the wing flaps are painted on this one, unlike the American Eagle CRJ900. But anyway, let's just take a quick look at it like we've done with everything else. We have the Delta Connection titles. L1 boarding door, registration is N800SK, and overall it's a pretty solid purchase. I was expecting a little bit more from Gemini. I was hoping they'd have some more antennas on it, just like the Misa Airlines CRJ900, and again, I thought this model would sell out in a heartbeat. It's still available at most retailers, so again, I got it for just, you know, pick up. It is a CRJ900, and I thought this would sell out, so I did get it for that reason. However, I was thinking that it would sell a little bit faster, and also that it would have a little bit more detail, and such as antennas, and the wheel issue would be fixed. But however, I guess it's too much to ask for from GeminiJets, but you know, it is what it is, and we're just gonna leave it at that. That's the CRJ900, the Delta Connection CRJ900, made by GeminiJets. And for our next aircraft, we have this Air Canada Airbus A320, and by NG models. I believe this is the Air Canada new Jetz livery, and it's a really nice livery. NG did a fantastic job with it, and Gemini is releasing this model in their February-March pre-orders. However, I got the NG version just because the NG A320 is a fantastic mode and fantastic model. So let's take a look at some of the highlights of this model. As usual with NG, their wheels do not disappoint. They roll perfectly, and there are a ton of detail on this. There's tons of detail on this model airplane. So let's zoom in and see the detail. And over here we have the Air Canada titles, the Toronto Leaf right over there, and then with the L1 boarding door, Star Alliance, as Air Canada is a Star Alliance member. And moving along the aircraft, again, NG's Airbus A320 mode is phenomenal. It's a wonderful version of the A320 1:400 scale, and I highly recommend it. The wheels roll perfectly, there's a lot of detail. Antenna registration is C-VNVV, and again, you got metal horizontal stabilizers. And let's just take a look at the other side of the aircraft. And I got this model just because I need more Air Canada fleets in my Air Canada collection. It's getting kind of old just having the Air Canada Kids Horizons A319 with the 2 Air Canada Express jets, so I really needed more more Air Canada fleets in my collection, so I decided to get this model. It's a really, really solid model. I love the black paint on it. It looks phenomenal. I would highly recommend it. Again, will not disappoint. The tail detail is amazing, and this is a very, very nice model. Really, I highly recommend this model. And saving the best model for last, in my opinion, we have a United Airlines TED Airbus A320. This is a super, super retro model. It's a super rare model, I think, in my opinion. Dragonwings models are really a thing of the past, sadly. I love Dragonwings. Their models, in my opinion, were really, really nice, and they come with stands. But anyway, this is the TED Airlines Airbus A320. For those who don't know it, TED was a part of United back in 2000, like the 2000-ish range, from like 2005 to 2008. And they were all coach economy. There was no first class. I think it was just all coach. But, you know, it's a really nice livery, and I love instead of the blue tulip, you got the yellow tulip and the TED billboard titles. I'm really excited to unbox this aircraft. It's typical Dragonwings box. I bought this off of eBay, and I really need it for my retro airports, and I'm really excited to see it. So let's see the aircraft. And over here she is, the TED Airlines, or part of United Airbus A320. Again, some features of this aircraft. We have TED billboard titles, and the TED comes from the United, the last 3 letters of United, for the United Airlines. We have, I guess, with the blue tulip, we have the blue engines, and then we have the yellow tulip right over here, which I really, really like, actually. I think it's really nice. Part of United over here, and then we have the American flag, as TED or United is an American carrier. Moving along with the aircraft, this is just a classic retro airplane, and with Dragonwings, it's cool. You can take the wheels off of the aircraft and put them on a stand, so it's really nice to see. We have the emergency exit arrows right over here and right over here. Horizontal stabilizers for Dragon models, unfortunately, are plastic. And moving along with this aircraft, it's just more of an asset piece for me. I really like it. Again, you could take the, and let's see, if I have the stands with me, you could just take the wheels off of it. I don't really want to do it too much, but you could pretty much just take the wheels off right over there and put them back on, and that's how you display the model up.
A few moments later.
And over here is the TED Airlines Airbus A320 with the wheel back on it. I would not recommend taking off the wheels at all anymore. Probably not going to do it for this model aircraft just because it was really hard to put it back on, so I wouldn't recommend it. But overall, it's just a really nice retro purchase for me. I'm really excited to use it in my airport updates. One other cool thing to note are that the fence tips for this Airbus A320 match the United yellow tulip, so they're yellow, and then you got the blue TED billboard titles right over here. Overall, I really like the model, and I'm excited to use it in my retro airport updates that I do for this channel. And just to recap for today's massive unboxing, we have the TED Airlines Airbus A320, the Air Canada Jetz Airbus A320. Both of these are great Airbus A320 models. We have the Delta Connection CRJ900, the Frontier Airlines Airbus A319, the Jack the Rabbit. Expect to see that for retro airport updates. The Emirates Airbus A300, great for retro airports as well. United Airlines Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330, the Emirates 777, and the ANA Pokemon 787-9 Dreamliner. Expect to see all these models very, very soon if you haven't already. I used 2 of these in my recent airport update. Please check that out if you haven't already. And I'm really excited for the future of this channel. I will be doing LAX airport updates probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it's almost finished the project. In the back, you kind of see the LAX setup. But anything else than that, I'm really excited for this channel. And thank you guys for the continued support. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, as this greatly helps support the channel. This is Hawaiian Air 2121 signing off. Have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed this video.